Next individual is Raymond. Raymond, I can't make out your last, what is it?
Trank.
Trank.
TRA.
300 Central Street, is it Burrillville, Rhode Island?
Yes.
Motion to waive the rules.
Motion to waive the rules was made by Councilor Mitchell. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Stephen Kamara. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so voted. Motion carries. Subject matter is water sale.
Thank you, Mr. President, Madam Clerk, members of the council, and also my friends and citizens of the great city of Fall River. Two housekeeping issues. One is because this is public comment, I can have the clerk of the town of Burrillville forward a package of information to the clerk here if you got further information about this, including our exhibits, our resolutions, that type of thing. Secondly, Mr. President, I have an exhibit. I was wondering if I could present that exhibit.
You may.
Would you bring
It's quite the exhibit.
Big exhibit for a small state.
It's about the actual size, right?
Actually,
That
yes.
scale?
Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome.
The exhibit, ladies and gentlemen, that is an exhibit that shows 31 cities and towns in the state of Rhode Island have passed resolutions of their councils with public input against the frack gas power plant that Invenergy would like to put in the woods of Burrillville. I think that gives everything you need to know about the NIMBY aspect of it. You will hear people say that we don't want it in our backyard, and that's true. But we don't want it in your backyard either. We believe that the frack gas power plant in the woods of Burrillville is wrong for many reasons, which you've heard. One thing that has happened is that the entire Rhode Island, if you look, most of the people that aren't green want to sell water to the power plant. And if you look at Burrillville right now, Burrillville is made up of villages. We're kind of a quaint little burg. Most of us had to start around lunchtime to get down here. But but we have a village. I've been from the village of Pasco. Some of the members have been from other villages. We have a village right now that has no water. The village of Oakland, Rhode Island, is without water. It's polluted. The village of Pasco, where they originally, Invenergy wanted to get water, we had the largest MTBE spill in the history of the United States at that time. And we still don't have public water. We get public water from the next village over, Harrisville, which also turned down the water. Woonsocket turned down a lucrative deal. And Woonsocket was in pretty much the position you're in. They're a city that's dealing with economic issues, and they have water. Woonsocket, like you, has a generous supply of water. And after a lengthy public process, a public meeting of over 500 Woonsocket residents, they turned down that money and didn't give the water to Invenergy. So why are we here? Well, I mean, we're here for two reasons. Number one, as a councilman and a longtime school committee person, I don't like to find out about deals in the newspaper. I have to be honest with you. I like to be informed. Number two, there are things that can be done. Now, the EFSB, the Energy Facility Siting Board in Rhode Island, has a process. Charleston and the Narragansett Indian tribe are now taking part in that. Charleston has asked to be an intervener. They were granted that right. They were given 30 days extension, and they will have an EFSB held public meeting. The cost of the meeting and the arrangements for the meeting will be done by the Energy Facility Siting Board in Rhode Island, and they will get the largest public facility you have here in Fall River and hold a public meeting if you so wish. You also have an energy board here in Massachusetts, which is made up of more than the 3 people that ours is made up of, and you may want to do that. But I know that when we've had a million public meetings, we put our heads on a pillow at night and wonder, have we done enough to stop Invenergy? And we would encourage you to engage the community. We're appreciative of your leeway you've given tonight. We thank you very much for that. But involve the community of Fall River and see if they want to sell. I heard a comment that the water board didn't want to take a position one way or the other. Well, if Fall River sells water to Invenergy, you have taken a position. You have taken a position in support of a frack gas power plant in the woods of Burrillville. And you know, when you look at your finances here in the city of Fall River, it's based on a lot of things. Well, with us, it's tourism and it's recreation. We have people that come to these state parks to fish, to hunt, to hike, to bicycle. And this power plant wants to set itself in the center of that recreation area and that forest canopy that cannot be replaced. The town of Burrillville has gone out. They are 100% against the power plant, the town council, the town manager, a majority of the people in the town. Somebody asked us one time, they said, well, you're kind of like a David and Goliath story. Well, that's not even true. We're like a flea on David versus Goliath, but we're holding our own. And what we need from you, what we're asking from you, is to look into the situation, to have public input, and to make a decision that's good for Fall River and good for Mother Nature. At the end, we'd be willing to answer questions. As I said, I will send information to you. But when we went to Woonsocket, and the deal had already been done, it was a done deal. Well, one of the things that the people in Burrillville have come to realize is there's no such thing as a done deal. We asked that they get input from the citizens of Woonsocket. They did so. We held a groundbreaking meeting in the state of Rhode Island between the Burrillville Town Council and the Woonsocket City Council, and I will offer that to you this evening. If at some point you would like to entertain the Burrillville Town Council, we will come en masse, we will sit here and we will talk to you about the events that have happened over the last 2 years. I wish you luck in this decision. I think that it's extremely important, and for all the reasons you've heard so far. And anything that the town of Burrillville can do to provide information, we will provide you with a basic package of information. But anything else that you'd like, we will provide for you, especially websites like the EFSB website where there's 150,000 exhibits. But we can narrow that down for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to ask you
Count-
something.
Sir, if you could just stay there for a second. Counselor in C7, Counselor
Can
Ferraro.
I just ask you one question? You said Woonsocket had a sweet deal. What was the deal with Woonsocket? Whoa.
Woonsocket was going to sell water to Invenergy. They got, and it's public record, they had an $18 million deal, which included scholarships, ball fields, that type of thing, plus the cost of water.
How much water would be used on a daily basis?
You know, it's very difficult to nail Invenergy down on that. They originally began with 720,000 gallons a day during normal operation and above 1 million gallons when using oil. They've now come to lower that because they want to use a cooling system. But 2 weeks ago, Invenergy put in a request with the EFSB that they have substantially changed their original plan and therefore need additional meetings and have gotten a 30-day extension to be able to get these meetings done. So it's very difficult, but the minimum would be what you've seen, about 12 or 14 trucks a day in a limited time frame, 2 trips apiece. When burning oil, that's when it goes to 720,000 gallons a day. They have up to 60 days per year to burn oil at that plant. And that would be based on 2 things. One, one availability of gas, and the other one would be on whether or not the price was feasible for them to do. When burning oil, that's oil trucks and water trucks in massive amounts. And one of the things that being an intervener could do for you is it could give you the opportunity to ask questions of Invenergy and them have to answer you. Like, what would happen to our roads? What would happen to hundreds of trucks, thousands of trucks per month, tens of thousands of trucks per year? What would happen to our roads and who would be responsible for that? Those type of questions have to be answered. And if you became interveners, you could get those questions answered and any other questions that you had. The other situation is the town of Burrillville put in a motion because Invenergy wants to build a plant very much, it would look very much like Brayton Point across the water with no plans. So in other words, if you wanted to build a garage or an addition to your home, you'd have to put in plans. You'd have to put in estimates. You'd have to have the contractor, those type of things. None of that exists for this billion-dollar energy plant. Nothing. Out of the 56 structures they plan to build, they've given concepts of 2 of them. And otherwise, our planning board, our zoning board, all have answered back to the EFSB, the Energy Facility Siting Board, that they have no idea what they're going to do up there because they've never been provided the information. The answer, of course, is that's how power plants are built. Well, that's not even how garages are built in Burrillville. So,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor C4, sir. Councilor C4, 2 more.
You know, I got to get back, you know.
It's going to take them all night.
I have,
I checked into motel rooms.
I have 3 quick questions. You said you're a town councilor in Burrillville?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Could you just make sure that the clerk has all of your contact information before you leave?
Absolutely.
And you had mentioned that Woonsocket had an $18 million deal, and it's public. Is that
Yes.
Where can we find that public document?
Oh, we can have that sent to you.
Thank you. And you also said they were able to get out of their done deal?
Yes.
How did they do that?
They had a public meeting, and they took a vote in the city council and overrode the a preliminary agreement that was done by the mayor.
Thank you. I yield.
Thank you. Councilor C2, Councilor Camara.
Thank you, Mr. President. I know why you want to get back. You want to go to Wright's Chicken Farm before they close.
Absolutely.
I think they close at 8:30. I'm not sure. Just real quick, so this plant doesn't exist,
No, it doesn't.
and if they don't even have plans, the town of Newwood would.
They have a nice glossy picture.
Yeah, I don't think you're ever going to see that plant, period,
Your mouth to God's ear, sir.
just so you'll know. I mean, I know what they tried to do in this community with an LNG plant facility, but that never happened. And they had sophisticated plans, and they had a lot of money behind them, as this place does, but I don't think you'll ever see the light of day of that plant. Just my opinion.
Well, Rhode Islanders and people of Burrillville are proud to join in the LNG situation and come over the line. And I think that that's a perfectly good argument that when people say, well, what do we have to do with Burrillville, Rhode Island? Well, you know, that's what. We have to work together, and we're willing to do so. And like I said, if you want us to come down, we'll come down. We will provide you with all of the information. I'm making a mental note. I'm going to write it down as soon as I sit down. And we'll send you a complete package of information. And then anything else that you desire, we'll have the 2 clerks discussing that, and you can get anything else that you need. But particularly, we will have that water information.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I appreciate getting as much information as possible. That's why I made a motion earlier that maybe the people on our end that are here, the board director and the sewer people that are here, can tell us exactly what it is that we did enter into, for how long, and what the deal is, and what, you know, why we did this. So
It's a good place to start.
hopefully we'll have them come down and explain it to us. With that, I yield. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilor C1, Councilor Capaceras.
Thank you for coming, sir. Is there...
Sir's my father.
Fair enough. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Is there unanimous objection from your colleagues and from the town manager in Burrillville?
Yes. Well, not only that, the council is firmly against the power plant. The town manager has been, I would say, wildly effective. The town manager's office is the no power plant central. A lot of work has been done by the folks at Town Hall in this. But also an election was held, and 4 no power plant candidates were elected, including myself.
Okay. So are you new to the office?
I've been a longtime school committee man, and I'm a year under my belt here in the town council.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The other thing that I would say is, how did this company acquire this property?
They haven't acquired the property. Councilman 2 makes a good point, that there is no Invenergy power plant at this time. They have an option on some land owned by the gas accelerator company. I would tell you the name of the company, but it changes every week. It used to be Algonquin, and you know, it's had about 15 names. But we have
You have the same thing across the water, I get it.
there you go.
Yeah.
But they have, actually, it's kind of interesting. They have an agreement to buy that land, but the company that's going to sell them that land will not let them use their entrance. So they have to come up with another entrance. They said it's unsafe. So there you go. But right now, nothing exists other than lawyers and lots of paper.
Okay. So maybe even some ordinances proposed by you folks in order to be able to stop this process could...
We're trying.
All right. All right, I look forward to that information. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sorry, I won't call you sir again.
Thank you. I believe that's it.